Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Yemisi and this is Let's Talk About the Female. Thank you for joining me again today. So just before I started this video, I was thinking maybe these videos need some sort of theme song, something to be starting out with that I'll just sing. So just like 10 seconds of just going all voicey and clappy and bumpy. But then again, I thought about it and I realized I'm not the best singer or rapper around. So I think I'll just keep that to myself for now. Anyway, today's video. In the morning, earlier today, my husband and I were having this conversation where we're just talking about, the past and just being in abusive relationships and stuff. So I thought, okay, maybe I should just share with you guys a few of my experiences and the things I've learned from my past relationships, right? So yeah, things I've learned from my past relationships, right? And I hope that this will be beneficial, especially if I have, people who are young, who are just starting out, who are like 18, 16, 19, 20, something along those lines. If you're here, then you'll be able to take away a few things from here. And, if you're a lot more advanced, somewhere around my age, or maybe just a little younger, maybe you'll be able to take away a few things as well. Who knows? But yeah, this is just me, just putting myself out here and sharing some of the things I've learned from my past relationships. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is 16 is not a good age to be in a serious relationship. Okay, so let me tell you what I mean by that, right? When I was 16, I was in 200 level. And that's not very common, especially for people, especially for my own time, right? Now, a lot more younger people are in university, or if you are in the abroad, college, right? But when I was in university, it was very rare to find a 16-year-old in the university at all. Talk more of 200 level, right? So I think that being in the university at that time and being around people who were in serious relationships must have made me feel like it was okay to be in serious relationship without considering my age, right? And when I say serious relationship, maybe I don't want to communicate the wrong thing. I mean, in my mind, thinking that I'm in a serious relationship. That's what I mean, right? So 16 is the age where you're supposed to be discovering yourself, where you're supposed to be finding out more about yourself, where you're supposed to be going out and making friends and reading books and understanding life and growing into a woman of yourself. And I don't want to use the wrong words, but 16 basically is not the time to be telling yourself, oh my God, I found me a man and, I want to be with him forever and ever and ever. No, sis. No. When you're 16, you should be enjoying your life. You should be making friends. You should be thinking about your career and what you want to be by the time you're 18, by the time you're 19, by the time you're 20. You should be thinking about your strengths and your weaknesses, and whether you're going to start a business, and whether, okay, now 16 might be a little too young depending on who you are and your upbringing, but there are people who have started out their YouTube channels when they're 16, and by the time they're 20, it's big and everybody knows them, and they're getting sponsorships and they're doing big things with their lives, and they started out when they were 16. 16 is not the time to be thinking about, oh my God, my boyfriend is angry, I want to spend the whole day calling him and crying. No, sis. No. Okay? No. The second thing is Learn to say no. Just learn how to say no. Being this 16-year-old girl that has found a man, has found a boyfriend that she's going to marry, and she's going to turns you into this stupid idiot that doesn't know her left from her right and can take anything. Don't be that idiot. Don't be a yes girl. Don't be someone who someone just comes to and says, and you're like, yes, okay, I love him, okay, so yes. You're stupid, girl. Like, learn to say no. Learn to say no to the things that don't benefit you. Learn to say no to the things that will only affect your self-esteem. Learn to say no to just learn to say no. Basically, learn to say no. The third thing is selfishness is not always a bad thing, and selflessness is not always a good thing. So, being young and being in a relationship, in fact, sometimes being old, sometimes when you're 50 and you're just getting into a relationship, there's something about wanting to be a good girl, wanting to, just be nice and all that stuff that makes you just want to be selfless and do everything, considering that person over yourself. And there's nothing that can be worse than taking this approach many times. Think about yourself first, all the time, before anyone else. You are bae. You are before anything else. You are before anyone else. Always think about, how is this thing that I'm about to do for this person going to come back to haunt me or going to come back to affect me? What am I gaining or what am I losing from being this person or doing this thing? Selfishness is not always a bad thing when you're in a relationship. And that's one of the biggest lessons that being in a number of relationships has taught me. And selflessness is not always a good thing. Sometimes you're going to do things, selflessly, just like pouring out your heart, and it's going to come back to bite you in your behind. So selflessness is sometimes a bad thing for you. Okay, I'm going to check out my list now because I wrote quite a list for the next thing. Yeah, the next one that I've always wanted to talk about. Attention from an older guy means zilch, means nothing, means absolutely nothing. Okay, so, and this goes especially for like really young girls, 15, 16, like 18, 20. I don't know, this will probably not apply to everybody, but I feel like it did apply to me a lot, right? When I was a certain age in my life, I always felt like it meant something for a guy who's not in my age group, who's like much older, to be attracted to me. Like there was this thing, like it was like there was this prestige that came with it. Now I know better anyway, but then it was, for me, it was a thing of, so it means that I'm more mature than my age, so it tells me something about myself. Like it was something to feel cool about. No, there is nothing to feel cool about there. It's just, he's just a pervert. That's all there is to it. He's a pervert. He's a pedophile. Get out of that situation. There is nothing about being attractive to an older guy that is something to be proud of. That is something to make yourself feel like a big girl over. If you are thinking like that, take it out of your mind. Remove it. Get it out. Just, there is no big deal in it. There's no big deal in it. Don't let anybody come and use in slang language. They say don't let anybody come and use, what's that thing? Bread to carry your stew. Exactly, that's the word. So he's old. You should go and find women his age. You should leave you alone. Don't fall for that nonsense. There's nothing in it. Another thing I learned from being in relationships Don't let anybody take your beliefs away from you. So there are a couple of things that you grew up knowing and believing, right? Sometimes being in a relationship can make you to start to challenge your beliefs, the things that you always, and you know that these things are right. You know that, in your mind, you're convinced, you know where you got those beliefs from. You are grounded in those beliefs. For example, let's say you believe you're not supposed to have sex before you get married. Basic. I'm not supposed to have sex before marriage, and that's that. Well, you get into a relationship where this boy or this man starts to make you feel like, oh my God, you're a cake for not wanting to have sex before you get married. Da, 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 da. Oh my God, you're missing something. Bullshit. BS. Don't let anybody take away your beliefs from you. If you're sure and you're grounded in those beliefs and you know where they came from and you understand how they affect your life positively, do not let anybody take your beliefs away from you. They're yours. There is a reason you believe in those things. So no, tight your beliefs to your chest like this and run with them. If somebody is in your life and is trying to take away those things that you know make you who you are, those beliefs that you know are a part of you and form a big part of your life and who you are and who you're becoming. If there's somebody that's in your life that you're in a relationship with that is trying their hardest to take away those beliefs from you, then maybe it's time to snip, cut them the hell off. Next thing is, don't take out your heartbreaks on your new relationships. It's common and it's very, very easy for something like this to happen to you when somebody has done something to you when you were together with them, and you get into this new relationship and you're like, oh, men has come, so I have to, my heart has to be hardened. I don't want to be that person that I was in the last relationship. I want to be hard. I want to be tough. I don't want to take nonsense. If he tries me, I'll slap his face. If he really, it's actually easier said than done, because many times our experiences shape the decisions we take in the future, shape the things, the way that the things that we become. But I think that you have to just try your hardest to go into each relationship on its own merit. And like I said before, that's very hard, but it's something that everybody should do. The fact that the last person was a cheat does not mean this new person is going to be a cheat. The fact that the last person deceived you, the last person played around with your heart, does not mean this new person is going to play around with your heart. If you're not completely healed from your last relationship, the best thing to do is to stay away from a relationship rather than going into a new relationship unhealed and now becoming the person that will now hurt another person, right? So that means you have become what you don't like. You have become the heartbreaker. So somebody broke your heart and now you've become the heartbreaker. That's a no-no, right? Something else that comes to mind is, no guy is too good for you. No guy is too good for you, right? So you're in school, this guy is, every girl's dream. This guy he's brilliant. Everyone thinks he's brilliant, so girls, surround him like flies. And so because of that, you think he's too good for you. Nope. There is no such thing. If he was too good for you, then he should never have come looking for you in the first place. Thinking that somebody is too good for you can make you act like you have no self-esteem whatsoever. Thinking that someone is too good for you can make you take anything from them. Things you're not supposed to take from them, you take it from them because, oh my God, they're good, they're too good for me. I will never find somebody like this. Is an attitude that you should never take into a relationship. You know who you are. You know how you got to where you are. You are a person of your own. So if they think that they are too good for you, well, that's their problem. Like, just do you. And this is something that happened to me live. I had someone who I always felt was too good for me. It was like, oh my God, he's over 6 feet tall, so all the girls love him. He's handsome, he's brilliant, he's this, he's that. Oh my God, if he goes, I'll never find somebody else. And that leads me to my next point. You will always find someone else. There is always someone out there. There is no such thing as I will never find someone. Don't let anybody deceive you. And this goes mostly for the mature single ladies. I know many of you will say, you're married, so you don't know anything about that, blah, 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 blah. Maybe not. But in my opinion, there is always somebody out there for you, right? And that's why I don't believe in soulmates. The more we sink ourselves into this idea of having a soulmate, the more you want to stay in one place, take all the bullshit, just because you think there's no one else out there for you. That is not the truth. If somebody is telling you that, send it back to them, give it back to sender. There is always someone else out there for you, and it might not be that person you're with right now. There's someone else out there for you. Nobody is too good for you. On to the next one. The next thing, let me check my list. Don't keep exes around. So this thing where people are like, oh my God, if you cannot talk to your ex, if you and your ex don't remain friends, then it means you have not gotten over them. You have to end your relationships cordially, and you have to be friends with your ex, and some utter bullshit. I don't believe in staying friends with exes. Personal experience. Don't keep your exes around. If you see them, say hi, walk away. There is just absolutely no point. Why are you friends with your ex? I don't understand it. Stop it. Why? What do you people still have in common? Excuse me. What do you have in common? For me, I just think it's utter crap. That whole thing about staying friends with your ex, you never know how you guys can become beneficial to each other in the future. Oh, whatever. Bleh. So thank you everybody for watching. Those are the few things that I can say I've learned from past relationships. If you have any comments, if you have anything to add, please just do your thing in the comment section. Say a few things, comments very respectfully. If you have anything to add, if you have anything to remove, just let me know. Comment section. Also, please don't leave without subscribing. Please, I need your subscriptions. Subscribe to my channel, like, share everywhere, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. I love you. Mwah.